Update. Overheard my 26M fiancé 24F tell her friend on the phone that she settled for being with me, and that marrying me was her last resort. Original post. Edit. Meant to put wife in the title but now I can't change it. Basically the title. I overheard my wife talking to one of her best friends on the phone while I was passing the bedroom. This friend is in a serious relationship. My wife then said to her, "Sweetie, remember it's your choice. Don't settle for just anyone." That's the mistake I made. Who knows who else I could have had. My name was my very last resort, and now look where it made me end up. Hearing that honestly broke my heart in two. Does she even love me? Why am I being treated as a second base? Am I being dramatic and overreacting? I haven't said anything about it since. I honestly don't know what to do, but hearing her say has really made me upset. Edited to fix paragraphs and no, not getting married on Halloween. Edit. My fiancé doesn't want to share the wedding reception for those assuming she wants to. She just doesn't want to deal with the familial fight that will break out between her side of the family and Amber's side of the family. Her parents are paying 1/2, I'm paying 1/4, and my parents are paying 1/4. We're not getting married on a weekday. The city Amber lives in has Saturday hours for the JP courts for weddings. Now for the updates. Update 1. Thanks everyone for the kind words, really has made me feel a lot better. Going to be talking to her soon. Also, I noticed a lot of people thinking this post is fake. I understand how it could be seen that way, but it isn't. I've been engaged to her for over a year and a half, and just 3 months ago we got married. Not really used to calling her my wife yet. Also, I used an old alt since she uses Reddit. Anyways, thanks for the advice everyone. It amazes me how people on the internet can care so much about a person they don't even know. I'm going to talk to her today. I will be updating you all soon after. Update 2. Just did one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. Today after breakfast I told her we should sit down and talk. She was hesitant, but I said it was important. We went to the living room and she said to me, "I already know what this is about." My post apparently made it to the front page, so of course she saw it after scrolling down a bit under popular. Of course the waterworks started happening right away. I told her what she said had deeply hurt me, but obviously she already knew that since she read my post. Through her tears, she said, "I was just joking. I wasn't serious." She then went on saying stuff like, "I love you, I love you." I told her I can't be in a marriage where my SO doesn't love me the same way I love them. She tried to tell me that she loved me and that I meant something to her. But it was all bullshit. She said she didn't want to lose me. I told her I don't think this marriage was the right decision. And from there I basically told her it was over. I told her I knew how she really felt about me, and that it was fucked yo. She basically played with my emotions. For all those wondering, we have no kids, and I pay fully for the apartment we live in, and I own almost everything we have other than her clothes. I even pay for her car. So after all of this she'll have little to nothing left. Before our marriage, we agreed to sign a prenup, and at that moment I've never been so happy with a decision I've made in my life. After that it was a few seconds of awkward silence, before she said to me, "Fuck you." She started screaming at me, telling me you just can't end things like that. I told her I could do whatever I wanted, and that's when she became very hostile. She screamed at me saying, "You're the fucking worst relationship I've ever been in. You think I can't find someone again? Do you think you'll ever from someone as good as me? You're a fucking idiot, my name." She grabbed her bag and phone and said, "I'm leaving," before slamming the door behind her. At that moment I felt like I was on one of those dramatic sitcoms you'd find of TV. I sat down on the couch and cried, and I'm still crying as I type this up. It's both happy and sad tears, and I knew it was only time before she cheated on me or left me. She never loved me, it was obvious. Our relationship only went one way, and I feel like a complete idiot for not seeing it earlier. I live in California, and I'm gonna start the process to annul our marriage. Tomorrow, I'm gonna start throwing all of her belongings into trash bags, 'cause that's essentially where they belong. I'm not throwing out her stuff. Just using the trash bags as a way to give her back the things she owns. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of your kind words and your great advice. All of you gave me the courage to stand up for myself, and I know my life will certainly improve as a result. Story 2. Me, 29M, with my wife, 31F, married 5 months, kissed 2 guys on St. Patty, lying etc. Plus update. Original post. Wife had plans to go out with her friends on St. Patty's. She said she would be home by 6 p.m. after the parade and some drinking. I get a text at 9 p.m. asking to come pick up her and her friend in downtown. So I go pick them up. Wife gets home and throw up, then curls up in bed. I'm redditing, And her phone gets a text along the lines of "where you at boo" from a number, so not a contact. I think maybe it's one of her friends being drunk and making sure she got home. About 30 minutes later, another text rolls in. "Hey hotness." I wake up wife and ask her who is texting her. She says she has no idea, texts back wrong number. The person responds with "No, I don't, you gave me your number at." I ask her how some dude got her number and she says she doesn't know. We talk about it for a couple hours until I need to go to bed. Her response is basically, "I don't know what happened." She has the next day off and I tell her to figure out what happened. I get home and ask her what she knows and she says I don't know. I let her know that maybe I'm not making myself clear. Some dude got your number, you should be busting your ass to figure out what happened. I tell her at this point my job is to listen to her explanation and decide if I want to stay married to her or not. I have very little tolerance for cheating and dishonesty and she knows this. At this point she apparently realizes the importance and immediately gets on the phone with her friends. I leave and come back a few hours later. She says that her friends don't recall seeing her talk to anyone alone, but she says she must have drunkenly given out her number. She says she's so sorry. I let the matter be for the time being. A couple days later I ask her if we can have access to each other's phones. She says absolutely, if it will make you feel better you can look through any of my accounts. The next morning I give her phone a forensic sweep. She sees the words text recovery on the computer and asks what I'm doing and I tell her looking for deleted texts. She doesn't say much and heads to work. I don't find anything I didn't already know about that night, but I do see some very flirty messages with a guy friend of hers that indicated they were regularly meeting for coffee over lunch, which she had never mentioned. I tell her we need to talk when she gets home and she agrees. When I get home she's already there and she hands me a 5-page letter, starting with "I'm a coward and I'm so sorry." She confesses to missing not one but two guys that evening. She vaguely recalls going to the bathroom at the bar and deleting incriminating texts and photos from the evening. So she lied to me about what happened, then lied to me about what her friends told her, not to mention consoling me that this night saying she would never betray me. What's more, she confesses to meeting for coffee with this friend of hers. She said nothing physical ever happened and they always met in public for short meetings at a coffee shop in the hospital she works at. Except for once she sent him a provocative photo of her in panties like a year ago before we got married. We're in a committed relationship. Also, these two dated banged briefly 10 years ago and he is married, but she has never met his wife, so yeah. She also confesses to secretly meeting up with her ex-BF even as recently as this month. She said they were getting closure on their tumultuous relationship. I finished the letter, took off my ring and walked out the door. I didn't come back until very late. We have been talking for a few days and I'm willing to listen solely because we are married. But I don't know if there's any point. I don't see how she could ever rebuild my trust or this I could trust her. I told her last night she's taken more from me than she understands. I can no longer say my wife will never cheat on me. The best I could say is I don't think she would again. My parents taught me that the easiest way to decide what to do in a difficult situation is to do whatever it is you would tell your children to do if they were in your place. I told my wife that and she agreed. She said she would probably tell a friend to leave in the same situation. She feels awful about this and has cried a lot the past few days. She says she doesn't deserve me and that she will completely understand if I just walk away tomorrow or in 5 years. She says she is so sorry that she went outside our relationship and is realizing she has some unresolved issues she needs to deal with. She has made apps to meet with a therapist and for couples counseling. She had told the friend of hers that her marriage is more important than anything and she can't be friends any longer. She has agreed to full access and transparency to all her communications whenever I want to see them. She says she will do anything to fix this and that if I give her the chance she will do whatever it takes for however many years to be a better person that is worthy of the patience, understanding and love I've shown her. I don't know what to think anymore. So much, so quickly. I can leave whenever I want, but should I let her try or should I just mercy kill this relationship? Now for the update. I haven't left yet. But I haven't put my ring back on either. Some clarifications. On St. Patty's, one of the guys she made out with was more of a kiss on the cheek of the waiter, or at least that is the claim. I'm not sure why that photo would need to have been deleted. The other guy she made out with and gave her number to. I called him and he told me he was there on a party bus stop for 30 minutes, and he chatted her up at the bar for a few minutes, asked for her number and they kissed for a little bit. She lied to him about being a local student, which did not miss my attention. If she had said I'm married and out with my friends things may have stopped there. The following day she spoke to her friends and she maintains that none of them recall seeing her with anyone outside of kissing the waiter's cheek for a photo. She had texted the guy and asked what had happened, but he didn't respond to her until Friday and told her they kissed for a bit and he got her number. Friday afternoon my daughter was with us for the weekend, so I can understand not bringing it up immediately. But it also doesn't make sense that she didn't bring it up as soon as my daughter left. Why she didn't bring it up until she saw I was going to find out the hard way. We went to a couples therapist for an initial consult and I explained what happened. Wife claims to be affected by hearing her transgressions told to another party out loud. The therapist also asked her if she thought coffee guy was an emotional affair. She said there were some emotions. We talked about it in more depth. I asked about the photo and she said she knew that was a mistake when she sent it and promised herself she would not do something like that again, that it was after we had a big fight and she wasn't sure if we were going to stay together. She said they didn't talk about inappropriate stuff, some light flirty texts, running, bitching about family and work. We got on the topic of attention and she said she didn't talk to me about it because she didn't think I cared about the mundane details of her life because sometimes I don't give her my full attention or I give advice when she bitching about work or what have you. I am admittedly not the best listener, so I can understand this, but it doesn't absolve her of wrongdoing. She could have said, I want all of your attention for a few minutes and I don't want you to give me advice. In fact, I know this about myself and have told her on a few occasions that if she feels I'm not fully listening she may need to grab my face and let me know my full attention is required, especially if I'm reading or doing something else. I'm somewhat absent-minded professory. We talked about some cultural issues she has from her patriarchal upbringing and using sex to devalue and estrange herself from her oppressive culture. We also talked about being givers and takers. I'm a giver in most things. She is a giver at work and with her family, but a taker in her romantic relationships. That obviously needs to be more balanced, both a little positive and negative or both giving. She spoke with her best friend about this and her friend was quite disappointed in her actions. Her friend told her about a time about 3 years ago when she was dating her ex when she got blackout drunk and made out with a guy. She had no recollection of this but she obviously sees drinking as being an issue and has instituted a no alcohol policy for herself. She claims to have since told Coffee Guy that she won't be continuing their friendship. And I was never worried about ex-BF, but I don't know why she would have had to hide their meeting either. She has made an effort to find counselors and has been very explicit about where she will be and when. She has given me access to all her accounts that I ask for. We have talked about me dating other people, so I don't have to feel like I'm faced with a partner or nothing decision. Making better choices from a place of abundance kind of a theory. At present we are seeing how it goes. I've been clear no more fuck-ups, no matter how small. She appears to want to be a better person. I've told her it may not be enough and she may put in effort to fix things and I may still end up leaving. At present we'll give it some time and effort and see how we feel after a few weeks, months. Story 3, baiting my wife to confess the truth. So I'm a first-time poster on here. Kind of using Reddit as a last resort. So the reason I'm here is basically for advice or ideas. A bit of backstory. I had been on a weekend away through work. When I got home on the Monday, I realized my work phone had been left on my bedside table. I had left it there after using it to record my sleep talking using one of those sound-activating sleep apps. So I thought I'd give it a listen to see what nonsense I'd been talking while asleep Friday evening. After listening to Fridays, I then kept listening to see what my wife had been doing whilst I was away. I felt uneasy about this as it felt like spying, but I did it anyway. What I stumbled across made me sick to my stomach. She had been round a mutual friend's house for a BBQ on the Saturday night, and when she got home she made a drunken phone call to another mutual friend. We will call him douchebag. The phone call goes something like this from her end. Hi, where did you go? Oh, okay, just wondered where you'd gone. Did you have fun tonight? Good, me too. I'm glad we can be friends again after what happened between us last year. Yeah, I'd like to too, but if Matt finds out I'd be fucked and he's probably kill you. Blah blah blah, okay bye. So naturally after hearing this I confronted my wife and she denied it all and just said what happened a year ago was they'd both had a drink or chat and said they'd probably get together if I wasn't around. Ouch, this was obviously hurtful to hear but not grounds to leave a marriage for. Since then, it's been about 6 months. I am 99% sure something happened between them and I feel like a prick for just letting them both get away with it, but I can't just leave her without proof. We share a lot of mutual friends and most of them originate from me, and if I leave her for no reason I'm worried that I'll be shunned for being the bad guy. I have a plan though, and this is where I need ideas. So in a couple of weeks I'm away again. This time I'm going to leave listening devices in a couple of key rooms, living room, bedroom, kitchen, etc. I found a website that will send a private message to any number and you can also set a time in which to send it. I'm going to have this text sent about 10 minutes before I leave so she knows it's not me that's sending it. Then when I leave I'm hoping the text will be enough bait her to ring douchebag in a panicked state and ask him if he said anything to anyone about what happened. Hopefully being specific about what that thing is. I need ideas on what I can write in that text. I was thinking. Hi, just found out what happened between you and douchebag last year. Hope your husband doesn't find out. Then she's ring him saying, did you tell anyone what did last year? You get the idea. So yeah, I need ideas what to put in that text that will bait her to be specific about what she's saying. I'm still young, so if I can get out of this now rather than 10 years down the line, that would be good. It's not that I'm looking for an excuse, because I'm not. Before all this I was happy, and now I'm almost certain I'm sharing a bed with a woman that's cheated on me. Now for the top of advices. We share a lot of mutual friends and most of them originate from me, and if I leave her for no reason I'm worried that I'll be shunned for being the bad guy. You don't want to look like the bad guy? Which of these two potential statements by your wife makes you look worse? Yeah, OP left me because he found out about that time I got sloppy drunk and kissed Matt last year. Yeah, I had to get a divorce after I found all these recording devices OP left around the house. Creepy, right? My lawyer's helping me get a restraining order. Dude, this is a Wile E. Coyote ACME complexity level of planning that will backfire on you similarly. If you do try to bait her and fail, it will look really bad on record during the divorce proceedings. Also, she will probably scour the house top to bottom for any of the listening devices because she will be vigilant about the possibility of you finding out because you blew your cover the first time. Or she'd use something simple such as public work phone to arrange a meeting in a hotel room to see it through. Then you gain nothing. Go for the simpler plan and talk it out for your sanity's sake. Very few lying shit persons remain composed and stick to the story when their infidelity is confronted with persistent reasoning and evidence. Or hire a private investigator when you're not around. Or consult a marital lawyer so you don't fuck yourself over more. If you are at the point where you feel you need to 1. Bait and 2. Post invasive spy equipment around your home, then you need to just leave. This isn't a healthy road to go down. You have your answer with the way that you feel. You don't really need proof at this point. Reality is, even if you find nothing, you still won't believe it. Don't waste your time or mind. The intent is there. Something obviously happened. She is covering it up. The very fact she called him while you were away, I am glad we can be friends, hubby can't find out, should be the deal sealer. Why the hell did AHE need to call him, just because they parted ways at a BBQ? Hit the road and don't look back. That's all for today. If you enjoy this story, please like the video and share your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you.